what I want to know today, and for the viewers as well, what is the real versus real reality of campaigns and of creators?
Brands will always come to you with a script or an idea that, create a script around this. And they'll say that, oh, we don't want this to look very adsy, but their script is always adsy. Guidelines and their briefs will always scream that this is an ad, but they always expect that the output should not look like an ad. Initially, when you're starting, you will get free stuff only.
Yeah.
You're at least getting the products. Like, we're giving you products for 1,000 rupees. I'm like, no, you're not. Like, I know how much that sunscreen or that moisturizer is worth. So that's the thing. Even when a piece of content does great, it gets into your head. And even when it doesn't work out, it really affects you. So that, I feel like, is one of the drawbacks, that numbers and, engagement.
It's all about
it plays with your head a lot. Like, it drains you mentally.
Is it a thing in a creator's journey that when I start, I will have to start making my own content, do a few barters, and only then I can start doing a paid gig?
No. I feel like that's a myth, because I know people who are at 500 followers, but
Yeah.
they are charging people for it.
Hey guys, welcome to EnGauge. I have a fun conversation lined up with you. We have Muskan and we have Priyanshi with us, Masks and Mocha. So welcome guys. Thank you for coming. If you can introduce yourselves, what content do you guys make?
Hi, I am Muskan and I create fashion, beauty, and lifestyle content. It's mainly beauty because I love skincare and makeup, and lifestyle because I also like traveling and posting bits and pieces of that as well.
Hi, I'm Priyanshi. My page is Masks and Mocha. So I started this page out of my love for makeup, skincare, around the same, and general travel bits of my life, and a little bit here and there, but focused on makeup and skincare.
So Priyanshi, from what I know, you're already in a corporate job and you do your content as well. You run Masks and Mocha as well.
Yeah.
So tell me something about that. How do you manage, or how can one manage doing their normal work, their normal lives, and making content together?
So this is definitely it is like having two jobs at once,
Yeah.
because people have a misconception that content creation is not a full-time job, but it is definitely a full-time job. So how I like to plan my days or my week is that on weekends I'm focusing on shooting
Yeah.
as much as I can. So get out all my reels, brand deadlines, etc. And then on the weekdays I'm more focused on editing, because after I'm done with work or before work, I can get some time out, finish out my editing. But my shooting has to be on weekends, because you also need to be really energetic to shoot. And after my work ends, I can't be expected to, put
Yeah.
out a reel shoot. So that's how it is.
And to you, Muskan, you're a full-time creator now. So, creator, in fact, you have been creating content since quite some time. So, like she mentioned, it's a notion that कितना ही time लगता होगा content
Mhm.
बनाने में भी.
So honestly, it takes a lot of time to create a piece of content, and for me, it's all about flexibility. That's the biggest perk I have. I can pick out the days where I want to work and
Yeah.
where I want to chill.
But what's like a day in the life of Muskan? How does it go, a day in the life of a creator?
Okay, so I'll wake up, and usually you have to follow up with brands.
Yeah.
So if there's a campaign going on that you're a part of, or any payment follow-ups or anything, so you have to follow up with brands.
Hmm.
And if you want to approach a brand, then you have to craft a message and send it to them. But there's also a lot of pre-production work that goes, because brands have a lot of rounds of approvals, even for scripts, outfits, backgrounds, everything. So you have to plan all of that out, and you obviously sometimes have multiple campaigns going on at the same time.
Yeah.
So it becomes very hectic. And then you have to shoot it, and then sometimes there's a reshoot. So that way it's quite hectic. But other than that, the flexibility part is quite good. And it can also be very uncertain. That's
Tell me, what's the journey behind that one piece of content? The start to end journey. We'll start with you and then we'll come to you. What's your journey like?
okay. So I have to come up with an idea. Sometimes I get, these are the topics that you can work around. Then you have to create a script out of it. The script goes for approval. I'll send my changes that, I don't think this will work for my page, or I can tweak it in my own way.
Yeah.
Then the script gets approved. Then the background gets approved, because brands are very particular that we want this background or this outfit. The brand has its own colors. So like that. And then the outfit gets approved. Then we shoot it. Then there's an editing process. And then if there's any round of changes, voiceovers, if there's any P2C changes or
Yeah.
anything, all of that, and then there's the final round of approvals, and then the piece of content goes live.
We do sometimes brands want you to recreate an exact reference video that they will share with you. So it can be either that, it can be creating your idea from scratch, getting it approved by them, or they tell you that okay, this is the idea we have, we want to integrate this, what matches with your page or vibe, and that's how you go about it. And I think the most time consuming part is that okay, like you'll get all these approvals, but the reel that you send, it's not like it always or it ever gets approved in the first go, right? Like even though they've pre-approved the background, they've pre-approved your outfit, your script, but they will always have some change or the other. So that is something that takes the longest. It's not like on Wednesday you got a campaign and the reel is out on next Wednesday. It can take a month also to get that out. So that's about it.
What I want to know today, and for the viewers as well, what is the real versus real reality of campaigns and of creators? So, if we start with the first thing, brand expectations, how does that go about?
Brands will always come to you with a script or an idea that, create a script around this. And they'll say that, oh, we don't want this to look very adsy, but their script is always adsy. We want this to look perfect and it should be professionally shot and this and that. So their guidelines and their briefs will always scream that this is an ad, but they always expect that the output should not look like an ad.
Now, one thing that I want to pick up, and I think not a lot of people over here know, or not a lot of people in the creator realm know about this, is I want creators to say what ad rights is, what you can do, what you can't do.
Ad rights is basically when you send them a piece of content, you're also signing off the rights for them to use it wherever they want. So if I'm sending them a piece of content and I give them the ad rights, they can run ads on it through YouTube, Facebook, X, anywhere they want. Now, I was very naive when I started out. I did not know that you're supposed to charge brands for this, and it's actually like a good amount of money that they pay for it. But yeah, I used to not charge brands for it.
Has it happened with you that you shot for any brand and they've run ads? They've run your ads without letting you know, or can you do anything about it?
They let me know quite late. And by then, I just made my peace with it. I was like, yeah, fine. I could already see the ads being run everywhere. So I was just like, yeah, it's fine. I did not charge them for it later. I was like, let's just leave it.
So now when you negotiate with brands or agencies, do you involve any piece of ad rights to it, or how do you add that part?
Yes, definitely. I mean, when we share our commercials with any brand, there are like 3 to 4 levels that you share, like just like one story, one reel plus one story. So there are different bands that it goes through, and ads rights is like the most, it's like something that you can charge for the most, like, more than you creating the reel, etc. Because for the brand, it is like you're creating an advertisement for them, which is a commercial advertisement. So that's about it. Especially if you are doing UGC content, then ad rights is like your main source.
So you use the buzzword UGC. I want you guys to explain what UGC exactly is, because there's a bunch of jargons and buzzwords that come around with campaigns while dealing with brands and agencies. There's things like, what's a CPV? 30 seconds.
CPV is basically cost per view, the amount of money it's costing a brand to, when a person comes to your page, views the ad, and CPV consists of everything. I think click rates and all of that. So it's the whole cost that it's costing the brand when a person comes to your page to view the piece of content that you've created for the brand.
Tell me something about barter campaigns and your best experience with barter campaigns.
So the first collab that I ever got was a barter campaign from a jewelry brand. And when I started out, I was so excited because firstly, I did not start creating content with the intention of becoming an influencer. So I was so excited. I was like, oh my God, I'm getting jewelry and clothes and everything for free. So in the start, I did not charge any brands for like 6 months. I never charged any brand. And then I realized, oh, you can also make an income out of this. And then I started charging brands.
And what was your first experience of a barter campaign?
I obviously started with a barter campaign as well, because that what they say. And one more reason I would have wanted somebody to tell me what is right, what is wrong, is that initially when you're starting, you will get like, free stuff only. You're
Yeah.
at least getting the products. Like, we're giving you products for 1,000 rupees. I'm like, no, you're not. Like, I know how much that sunscreen or that moisturizer is worth. So that's the thing. In barter, they expect you to, deliver the content like it's a paid piece. Like, get the background approved for that as well. Your outfit should be a particular color or no prints, etc. The script should be like approved and everything. So the work is what you would put in for a paid reel. It's not
So
like,
it's technically the
yeah,
same.
you're not going to do a shitty job because in the end it's going on your feed.
Yeah.
So you need it to look good, irrespective of it being barter or paid.
So is there a notion for any creator starting? Is there a notion that if I'm starting as a creator and if I'm starting, I have to start with a barter? Why can't people just start with a paid piece? Like, is it a thing in a creator's journey that when I start, I will have to start making my own content, do a few barters, and only then I can start doing a paid
No,
gig?
no. I feel like that's a myth, because I know people who are at 500 followers, but
Yeah.
they are charging people for it, because I feel like for me, there was nobody to guide me that, you're supposed to charge or anything.
Yeah.
For me, I was like, okay, like you're giving me products, I'm cool with it. And that's how I started off. But it was, much later, like I mentioned, that I realized that, okay, you should charge people for it because you're putting in a lot of work.
And what's the flow? Like, how does one get a brand collab? What's the entire flow from the creator to finally the piece going out? Who all are involved in this process?
So initially, when you're just starting out, and this also answers your previous question about doing barter or not, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, I personally feel that you can do a couple of barters just to get some content on your page.
Yeah.
Because when you are pitching to a brand, they need to know what you can create, what you can't create. Like, you can obviously do your own videos
Yeah.
as well with the things you have. But if you just want, some exposure on what actually goes behind working with a brand, I personally feel you should do a few, like a couple, not like you have to do 6 months of barter or like a year, just a few collabs to understand and put some content on your page. And then that's how you start, is you pitch to brands.
Yeah.
So initially you don't have anybody managing you, right? So you just like, literally, it's all about sending cold emails.
Okay.
Send cold emails, DMs. Nowadays, DMs also is what works. You can directly DM the brand, send emails to their social media, email ID, etc. And that's how you can start your journey.
And do they reply back generally?
Yeah, they do, because influencer marketing is the thing now, right? So they are also always on the lookout for people to create content for them.
So to pick from there, you mentioned that it's the new big thing. So in today's world, when every second person wants to be a creator because of the glamorous outlook that it gives, what makes you different? It's what people say in our country that आपको क्रिकेटर बनना है. गली में हर बंदा आज इंडिया में क्रिकेट खेलता है and wants to be a cricketer. It's the same thing, I think, now with creators, that every other person wants to be a creator. So how do you ensure that you are in the playing 11 and not a part of any other team? What makes you
Honestly,
stand out?
It's personal branding. That's how you stand out. Like, people should be able to recognize you. So just having followers is not, it's not the only thing that matters. Your engagement rate, your visibility, your reach, all of these things matter. So like, I know people who, when they go out, it's not just like their numbers on social media, people are recognizing them. So having that kind of a personal brand is what works the best.
So the amount of content that you guys make, I'm sure you mentioned you guys research for a lot of content, ideas, topics. How challenging it is mentally? Like, is there any creative block that you guys face, or what happens?
Yeah, so I feel like when it's said a lot that you're supposed to be very consistent and all of that, but I personally believe that quality is what turns a person into a brand. sometimes when you chase consistency, you also end up compromising your quality of your content. So I don't post very often. Like, I don't post 2 or 3 times in a day, and I'm seeing creators do that right now. I pick out my days, and obviously there are times for posting. So I pick it out as I please. I don't really follow a schedule or discipline, because I feel like I'll just end up compromising the quality of my content.
Okay. So the amount of effort that goes behind a piece of content, there's been quite a times that you put a lot of effort behind making a piece of content. Let's say give 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, and you put out that content and doesn't work out the way you expect it to be. Does it feel bad or does it hurt? Like, put so much effort and it didn't work out.
I'd be lying if I said like, oh, it doesn't affect you. Even when a piece of content does great, it gets into your head, and even when it doesn't work out, it really affects you. So that, I feel like, is one of the drawbacks, that numbers and engagement and all that, it plays with your head a lot. Like, it drains you mentally.
Any personal experience?
Yeah, definitely.
Any anecdote that you'd want to share?
I just got really excited and I started posting a lot. And then those pieces of content did not do very well. So I just got really upset and I was like, why is this not working out? No. So it makes you upset when it doesn't work out.
Any personal experience from your journey?
So I had there was a trend going on of like a no makeup look, and this was like initially when I just started out, and I put it out with like everything that is supposed to do, right, like trending audio and whatever, but it didn't perform. And before that, I had posted a very random reel which did like 2.5 million views and stuff. So I was like, what is going on? Like, so definitely, yeah. It's numbers in the end.
Yeah.
So when we talk about numbers, last thing now, when you are technically reaching out to so many people out there, the numbers like 2 million, 2.5 million, 10 million. So does it ever happen that any product that you've recommended and it doesn't work out well for customers? Does it, is it scary that if I say something and that won't work out for people, what will people think of my credibility for using this product?
Of course. I mean, with so many people watching your content, you can't just be recommending everything and anything.
Yeah.
We have to try it at least, like, depends. If it's skincare, I will probably try it for 3 to 4 weeks to see how it's actually affecting my skin, if it's working for me or not. And same with like makeup and all your hair care and everything. And that's why it's very important for us to keep on reminding our audience as well that these are our opinions,
Personal opinions.
because it is done well on me or it didn't work on me. Any situation, it's my opinion, and I'm here to just tell you that this product exists which gave me a very good experience, so I recommend you to try it. Like, that's how we have to keep reminding our audience, so that nobody comes and just like tells us it's because.
So it's not the US then, where if you tell someone to try any product and if it doesn't work out, you guys would be sued.
Yeah, but also I feel like I personally, and I've spoken a lot about this on my stories also, that I don't put out a product on my page that I haven't used or tried.
Correct.
And brands also sometimes try to lure you in because they know that the product is bad. So they lure you in with money, lots of money. But at the end of the day, you need to make a choice and a decision.
So I think we've heard a bunch of things about content creation, what goes behind a campaign, the good things, the bad things, and all of it. So any closing notes for people out there?
Honestly, have fun with it. Try it out, experiment with it. It's not as easy as it sounds. Obviously, it has its own drawbacks, but at the end of the day, it's a pretty fun job. And try your hand at it, see if it works out for you or not. But there's obviously a lot of fun in experimenting.
I think that's about it in our first episode, and we'll keep speaking with creators, keep getting their experiences, keep getting the real life versus the real life of creators, and explore the journey of content creation. So thank you for your time, guys.